Hey guys, so we are getting ready to head off to Mechacon. It is 5:37. Registration started at 5. We have a full car. So I'm going to introduce you guys to the cast of this year's Mechacon Recap. There is me. Hi, I'm Becca. I'm one of the co-founders of howtobeaconartist.tumblr.com, one of the big convention resources. This here is my mom. She's going to be helping. She's going to be helping me at the table. And then back there is my younger brother, Devin. And he's volunteering this year, so he's going to be one of the volunteers at Mechacon. We have a car full of con stuff, clothes, and food. So this should be a very exciting, eventful year, but hopefully it is exciting and eventful in all the best ways. So Mechacon has switched hotels. It switched last year from the Hilton to the Hyatt, and I have never actually been to the Hyatt Regency here in New Orleans. So this is a whole new hotel for me. It's going to be an adventure. It seems like a much bigger hotel with 3 parking garages, one of which is a valet parking garage, and that costs $40 a day. The information they sent out did not mention anything about how much it's going to cost to non-valet park. You would think if you're staying on the premises, they would comp that, but being New Orleans, that is often not the case. However, I will inquire about a reduced rate. We are going to be there for 3 nights. Tonight, Friday night, and Saturday, and we're checking out of our hotel room on Sunday morning. My aunt, who has some disabilities, is coming with us, so that may throw a wrench in the works, but I know many of you guys who are watching this are either have disabilities yourself or a family member who comes to shows with you who also has disabilities. So some of the information I may be able to share with you guys may be interesting and relevant to you, and good to know. It's always good to know what sort of accommodations you can request. Let's see, what else? I have been pre-warned that the Artist Alley in the new location is very dark, so I went to Dollar Tree, one of my favorite places for con stuff, and I picked up a bunch of lights, so that's going to be something fun, something interesting, and hopefully having a well-lit table will be to my benefit. And the alley this year is huge. I'm going to share a map with you guys so you guys know kind of what it looks like, but you can head on over to the Mechacon website to check out the map for yourself. So I look forward to sharing this weekend with you guys, and I hope I'm able to provide a helpful recap to help you decide whether or not Mechacon is a con for you. Alright, so this Hyatt is huge, and they have pre-registration nice and set up down here, and then they have a separate area for artists to pick up their Artist Alley badges, so I like this. Big improvement over some of the prior years, and they seem to be moving really quickly. They've got their stuff together so far, so I'm really feeling good about this year. Guys, so we are all set up at Mechacon. It is Thursday night. This is sort of a soft setup. I'm going to pick a lot of these things up and put them back out tomorrow morning, but I kind of wanted to figure out my placement. So what's interesting about these tables is it's actually 2 banquet tables, so 2 6-foot banquet tables, which makes for a nice deep table. And you can tell because I can get 2 grids side by side with like about 6 inches or so of extra table, when normally the 2 grids of the second grid would be hanging off the table. So this makes for a really nice deep table. The only problem I can really see is me reaching over to help people with things, but better a deep table than a narrow table, right? So I'm gonna pick these things up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Okay, so we are all set up. So far, my only qualm is those big pillars you guys see. They really do a lot to obstruct the view of the alley. I'm kind of hoping that's not going to be a problem since this is the second year in this particular alley. I'm kind of hoping that customers understand that. Ooh, I like the wooden setup a lot. But I'm seeing a lot of really cool creative setups and solutions for display. So I'm hoping this is going to be a good year, you guys. Hey guys, it's your girl Natto Soup here. I'm here at Mechacon Friday morning. The alley has just opened and there's already a bit of a crowd, which is nice. The alley this year seems to have a lot of really strong artists in it, a lot of really cool stuff. So if you're in the New Orleans area, I highly recommend you get down here and you come check it out, especially if you like original, unique art with an anime and manga aesthetic. This is definitely your jam. There's other comic artists here, there's other comic creators here. So if you're into comics, I highly recommend you check that out too. It's way cheaper than going to one of those crummy Wizard World shows. But let me show you guys my table. I'm actually really pleased with how the setup turned out this year. It's 2 banquet tables side by side, which means I get a deeper table, so I actually have lots of room to have cute things. As you guys know, I'm a kidlit artist and illustrator, so I try to keep it friendly, try to keep it cute. So I have my original watercolor comic here, and you can either flip through volume 1 or you can flip through the original pages. I have adorable ribbons and mini comics, as well as quite affordable original art pieces, so alcohol marker on Chiogami paper. I also am taking commissions this weekend, so if you'd like to take a piece of original art home with you this weekend, you need to come by early because my list tends to fill up fast. But if you're looking for something a little more detailed and in color, you can come by anytime. These will be filled after the show. I've also got beautiful laser cut wooden charms, gorgeous hand painted wooden charms, stickers, mini prints, and more. So I am here at Mechacon. I'm going to be here all weekend here at this table 205. We're at kind of the back of the artist alley near the vendor section. So head on over to the last island if you want to check me out. I am surrounded by fantastic artists, so it's a good spot to be in. And I hope to see you guys this weekend. And if you guys are interested, please keep an eye out for my full con recap, which will be coming up after Mechacon has ended, and will be shared how to be a con artist. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. So it is Friday evening. It is about 4:47. The alley officially, 7:47. The alley officially closes at 9, but I think I'm going to pack up and head out at 8. It's been a long day. I got down here at like 9:30, 10, which isn't the worst, but been here all day. The snacks we brought with us did a good job of entertaining us and carrying us through. And you guys can check out that vlog if you're interested in easy con snacks that don't make a huge mess. And I'm going to fill you guys in on how today went in a little while. Hey guys, it is Friday evening. I have just finished doing the show. It ended at 9, but I was packed up to leave by 8. It was a long day. It was a tiring day, but sales were very stagnant. I know that Fridays at most shows are the slow day. This felt slower than a lot of Fridays, than most Fridays, in fact. For me, Fridays are usually one of my 2 busy days because since I do commissions, most people know that if they want a commission done at the show, they need to come Friday or early on Saturday. I do think my placement was a contributing factor, but I did ask other artists in several of the parts of the alley, and by other artists, I mean artists I'm familiar with or friendly with, how their days were going, and a lot of other artists said it was slower than normal or it was very slow. So it just seems a little bit slow this year in the alley. I'm not entirely sure why. Could be an off year. I know MTAC for me this year was also sort of slow, so that could be it, but my library cons have been going really well, so who knows? Maybe I'm just not selling what they're interested in buying, which is also a legitimate possibility. I was in one of the 2 narrowest rows in the alley, and there were these massive pillars that often occluded view. And then at the front of my aisle, people like to congregate and just talk. So that would block off like a whole aisle of the artist alley. So it seems like Mechacon's artist alley has a flow problem this year, and hopefully in the future they can fix it. However, I got to meet their con liaison, who goes by Lia's mom, and she seems awesome. She seems super nice, super passionate about helping Mechacon grow, helping their artist alley grow, and she seemed very receptive to suggestions. So I have full faith that the Mechacon artist alley can continue to grow. One of the problems I do think the Mechacon artist alley is facing is that the alley itself is just too big for the convention, too big for the audience's pockets. I've suggested various things to Mechacon about Mechacon in the past. I've suggested they try going a juried route or a 50% juried route, or like a 50-50 fan art thing like AWA used to do, any of those sort of limiting factors. And they were very adamant that they wanted the alley to be open to almost anybody who wanted to sell their wares. And while I really respect that, It definitely seems like we could definitely use more crafters, more soap makers, more plush makers, more hat makers. Now, one of the reasons you're also seeing fewer of those is the profit margins on handmade items like that are much lower than the profit margins on things like prints. Prints, as compared to plushies, have a crazy high profit margin. It often costs $2 to get a print printed, if not less, and you can sell prints for $15 and up. So I do understand why a lot of artists have moved away from the handmade items, but having an alley that is full of prints gets kind of boring and gets kind of samey. I was seeing a lot of Ita bags, and I saw a lot of people selling things for Ita bags, specifically clear fandom charms. So Mechacon, in a lot of ways, is kind of reminding me of AX from a couple of years ago. So sales were sub 50, which is disappointing for any larger anime con. Excuse me.
I'm gonna put him in here.
Sorry, my brain is fried. Sub 50, like I said, hopefully tomorrow's gonna be better. I do have my doubts though, given the placement. Other aisles did see a little bit more business, but no one was selling like gangbusters. So it seems like Mechacon is in another sort of growth phase. So hopefully tomorrow will be better, and I'll let you guys know then.